Hey guys, I'm back with another book review, and today's book I'm going to be reviewing is Blister by Jeff Strand, released in 2016 by Sinister Grin Press, and it's about 270 pages. What can I say about this book? Actually, what can't I say about this book? This book has a little bit of everything in it. There's comedy. There's some very dark scenes, dark imagery, and there's a love story beneath the surface. So let's get into the plot. We're introduced to Jason Trey. He is telling us his story, and he's a cartoonist, and he's somewhat of a sarcastic, smartass type guy. So within the first few pages, he gets himself into a situation, and he gets himself into a little bit of trouble, which is pretty funny, but I'm not going to spoil anything here. I want you to read it. Anyway, his agent has had enough. His agent Chuck has had enough, and he says, "Look, you need to lay low. Go to my cabin for a while, till I say, just lay low. Don't get yourself into trouble." And he stresses that. His agent stresses, "Don't get yourself in trouble." So Jason goes to this small, secluded town, small community called Lake Gladys, and it's about 3 hours from where he is. And his first night there, he goes into this bar, and he meets these two young kids, and they shoot some pool, and they strike up a conversation, and the kids say, "Hey, you want to go see Blister? Blister is the local legend, the local monster." So Jason's drunk, feeling well, feeling really good, and he says, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So they on foot they go to this secluded house, and behind this house is a shed, and the kids said, "Blister's in there. Go take a look." So Jason takes a peek, and what he sees is this horribly disfigured woman, and he's shocked. He's frightened, so he runs. Now like I said, he is drunk, but yeah, he's shocked. He runs. He's frightened. The next day, he feels really bad, really bad. So he's compelled to apologize to the girl. So he ventures back out into the property, and he encounters Blister, who we now know is her real name is Rachel. And something happened to Rachel 5 years prior. She was the victim of a horrible crime, and her face was disfigured and burnt. And again, not going to give anything away because you need to read the book. But Jason strikes up this friendship, and he kind of gets Rachel to put her guard down. She wears masks a lot because she's ridiculed, she's called a freak, she's laughed at, she's shunned. People gawk at her, call her names, belittle her. And Jason gets her to put her guard down, so he takes her out to, she wears these masks and stuff, and he's like, "Take off your mask, you're beautiful. Don't let people bother you." And they go out to eat, and Jason's the first person, aside from her father, who really shows her kindness, and he accepts her for who she is, beyond the disfigurement and the scarring. He sees her for the person that she really is. And Rachel is a cool person. She's very funny in the book. She's got a very cool sense of humor for all this stuff that's happened to her. So she's a very cool character. Um, and Jason and Rachel's relationship begins to blossom, as we say. And there's a little bit of love going on. Jason kind of falls for her. She falls for him, and they're getting closer and closer. And Jason, he gets himself into all these really bad situations. He's not a dumb guy, but he just throws caution to the wind. And then we have the character of Malcolm, which is Rachel's father. Jason thinks he's an asshole. Blatantly calls him an asshole. But he's very overprotective, and he basically keeps his daughter a prisoner in this shed in the back. I mean, you could say he keeps her prisoner. You could say Rachel wants to be left alone. There's arguments for both. But Malcolm is definitely overprotective. He's the guy, he's the father sitting on a swing with the rifle at all times, ready to just, anybody who comes near his daughter, and rightfully so, because his daughter was a victim of a crime. But Malcolm is an intriguing character, a complicated character. And we're introduced to other characters, the sheriff, and there's some secondary characters that come along. And all these guys kind of harbor this secret. They're all harboring a secret, which you'll find out. And when you find out, you'll go, oh, okay. They're all very flawed. They're all very flawed characters. Malcolm is flawed. Jason's flawed too a bit, but I think it's necessary because he just gets himself into wacky situations. The book moves along really quickly. Jeff Strand doesn't really linger, and what I mean by that is he's not very wordy. He gets to the point, and I like that. It keeps the pages turning quickly. The plot moves along quickly. When Rachel and Jason, when they start their relationship and they get into these situations, you keep turning because you want to know. You want to know where the story's going. You want to know how their relationship is going to develop. You want to know what other characters how they're going to develop. And a lot of these characters are really fleshed out. Like I said, it's not a very wordy book. I mean, it's quickly paced, but Strand does still take his time with character development and plot points, and there's twists and there's turns, and it's a real page turner for all intents and purposes. Like I said, the book is, there are times you're going to laugh, and then there are times you're gonna kind of cringe because of some of the scenes and what Rachel has endured, and what Jason will endure, and what some of the characters go through, and then through all of that is a nice kind of love story, between these two people, one horribly disfigured, the other normal, and he just sees her for what she is. So, yeah, it's a great book. It's if you like comedic horror, you should check Jeff Strand out. This is my first Jeff Strand book, and it won't be my last. Trust me when I say that. He's a good author. He's got some talent. Like I said, just a thoroughly enjoyable book, and it's a nice trade paperback. I like the cover. It doesn't give too much away on the back, but it gives you enough to go, wow, I want to check this book out. But yeah, Blister was a good book. Highest recommendation if you're into comedic horror. It's a perfect mixture of all those elements. And there's nothing more I could say. Go out and read it. I hope I didn't give too much away, because there's a lot to take in. It's a really good book. Fleshed out characters, plot twists, great stuff. So I'll see you next time in the pages. Thanks again for watching. Adios. Enjoy this book. You'll really enjoy it. Take it easy, guys. Be back later.